Hello, this is Fuzzy Wingman, and I am back. I decided to do. I was like, "Oh, Orks and Harlequins looks interesting," and then I realized that I have now done Orks in like 3 videos in a row. But hey, whatever. Orks, Orks, Orks. Let's WAAAAGH it up. And then I was like, you know what? Let's be silly and just do like, Orks and Harlequins on a big open field. Because they're both melee, and yes, train is still useful when you're doing melee stuff, but Harlequins don't really give a crap about train because of their fly, and they actually have it specific, not fly. Basically, they have the rule to allow them to just go right over terrain and be like, I don't care, bye. And I don't really see anyone shooting at each other because, well, I tried to grab as many orcs that were orc boys that I had that had choppas and whatever their pistol's called, I forgot. But unfortunately, I don't have enough, so I had to throw some Shootas in there. But I'm trying to do as many what you see is what you get. Unfortunately, can't always do that, but I got close to it. So mission: take prisoners, because if you're going melee, might as well do super melee. Oh no, my bookmark almost slipped right in. Okay, there we go. For deployment zone, I'm going to need to know the exact center. Ba-ba-ba-da-da-ba-ba. That center there. Closest I'm gonna get to have this dot being exact center. Cool. So now that I have exact center pulled out, I'm gonna roll 2 dice to see who has the greatest strategic advantage. Harlequins have the greatest strategic advantage. They want to choose this corner, this corner, this corner, this corner. Oh, that's a big tactical decision. They're choosing this corner. Is it really just 6 inches from the center and they go? Yep, and they just want to go at each other. Cool. So you can't capture an enemy model if it's taken out of action while within 1 inch of a model, but there are no other enemy models within 2 inches of your model. Alright. Orcs have to deploy first. This is going to be these corners. I might as well put the turn counter like over here somewhere. Orc. I'll do one. Actually, since it doesn't fully matter, I'll just throw this one in. Oh no, it's not that. Usual balancing of Harlequin models. Orc. I know I have to be divided about there. He'll just probably be the edge of that. this one will be the edge over here that goes around over there. And sure. There's another Shoota over there. This is kind of silly. Not really measuring anymore because, well, we kind of have our semicircle, or yeah, semicircle, because it's, if you connect to them, they should be a half circle. And there we go. All the orcs ready to WAAAAAAAAAGH. There we go. Some wagging. Round one. Who's got the initiative? Ooh, Harlequins have the initiative. The game probably came down to that. Yeah, Harlequins probably, Harlequins have like 3d6 runs, and I just realized, let's see here. I need to double check the length of the flamer. Since as of recording this, I know there's been kind of peaks that there's going to be an update for Kill Team, but I don't know what it is yet. And we know that big 40k, the flamer's distances have been increased. In this case, it's still 8 inches, but, you know, it might be up to 12 later. So he can't flame anything. But yeah, so that's why it's just the heads up. This video, we might have more information when it comes out. We might not. But I do know that intercessors are going to, intercessor assault, the assault from Indomitus box. I have the Indomitus box. I've built it. I've primed some models. I need to get to painting, which I really want to do. So, back to declaration of charges. This player's declaring a charge on him. He can overwatch with his Shoota. That's all he can do, because his flamer's out of range. So he's going to do, it's a 2 shots. Yeah, it's 2 shots. Doesn't hit. Oh, players with their 3d6 charge distance. 6, 10, I think he's in. He's in. They just took out the flamer from doing anything. And this one's declaring a charge on these two. They just have regular Shootas. Shootas are 18-inch range, so they all have range. So 2 shots from this guy, right? 2 shots. So 2 shots from this guy, he's going to overwatch. Because he might as well just shoot because he wants to punch. Gets actually a hit. Strength 4 for his toughness 3, so, 3 to wound. Wounds. 4 up invuln. Failed it. They have command point. They'll spend it to reroll that. They saved it. Since, this movement phase, and they don't expect to get too many more overwatches. This one's shooting. Doesn't hit. I'm going to just, it's been a while since I've played and want to double check things. Yep, okay. I am playing it correctly. 3 dice. Oh, that's a whopping 15. Boop. Alright, this model is going to declare charge on all 3 models here. So the pistol is called a slugga. They have the range. I'll just roll them both together. 1 shot each. No hits. Let's see if this Harlequin gets an insane roll as well. Wow. Well. Boop. Oh, right. Charge, so can't shoot later. It does have a Neuro disruptor. I mean, if they can shoot anything, who knows? That Harlequin will also charge all 3 since this one's locked in combat. Just these 2 fire Overwatch. Boop. Let's see if I roll 3 ones again. Nope, that time I roll a 12. Which, boop, puts the head-to-head there. Yeah, there. So, gets all 3 in combat, which is good for Harlequins because this is the one with the AP -3 melee weapon, so it's probably a lot of Orks dead. The funny thing is, the victory points still come down to capture, so the Harlequins could just table the Orks and then just be like, well, we have no victory points. But they're not really going, they're just going for the walls now, just destroy everything. Well, this one's declaring a charge on these 3. So the 2 shots from this guy gets a hit. Wow. Gets a wound, 4 of invuln. Made it. It's the pistol in range. Doesn't look like it, actually. They're allowed to declare charges from 18 inches, so this one's going to be a tougher charge. Didn't make it, obviously. Only goes 6 inches. Could have just walked a shorter distance. I mean, a longer distance. And thinking about that, this one's just gonna go over here to do some pistoling. Now the Orks. Over I'm playing like whatever, Bad Moon or whatever, so they can run and still shoot normally. And they can also move like they're 6 inches. Okay, it's going about there. He's trying to make it so that way this guy can't capture any of these 3 if they kills all of them because of him. He was there. Let's get him to go slightly that way to make that also be true for these guys. But he has to be greater than 1 inch. So he can't actually do that. So you can't actually really get around that guy. So he'll just have to do that. He can still shoot things, though. This Orc boy is actually going to declare a charge on them. No, I haven't fired at their pistols in a long time. It's a Shuriken pistol. Well, we'll fire it. It's One shot Overwatch. Doesn't hit. Charge distance from the Orc. Boop. I mean, actually, probably want to get a bit more like that. He had 10 inches to play with. There was no way he was going to be able to do that charge and not be within 2 of these, so he can't capture that model. But he could sure as hell kill it. This guy. He's actually going to declare charge on this Harlequin. Well, they have Here We Go, which he has to use. There we go. And I get to technically add 1 to that, so that's 9. This red goes faster. Oh, he just charged so hard that he knocked over the Harlequin. And this one's declaring a charge on this one. Punchy punch. There. He's getting it so that way this one's not within 2 inches of him. So that way he could actually capture this one himself. Okay, now we can go on to shooting phase. Harlequins have no one that can shoot right now because that one charged. Everything charged or was charged. This guy can actually two shots at that Harlequin. Yeah, it's not long range and it's out in the open, so 2 shots, 5s to hit. Wow, 2 hits. 2 wounds, 2 4-up invulns for that Harlequin. Look at that, Harlequin made it. Alright, shooting phase done. Let's go on to melee, starting with charged models and starting with Harlequins. Alright, these are the only 3 orcs. So these 2 did not charge. So I can do this one, or this one. We're actually going to start with this one because he can prevent this guy from being able to get any captures. We already know this guy could capture people if... Well, actually, he could capture people only if, like, these 2 are dead. Screw it, he still put some attacks on him. So, let's see here. How many attacks does this player have? We'll have 4 attacks in total. Well, they can only attack these 2. Ooh, they both have, like 2 wounds each. They're both going to be toughness 4. He's actually going to put 3 attacks on this guy and 1 on this guy. So 3 on the guy with the Big Choppa. So 3 attacks, 3s to hit. I should actually, you know what? Do they have anything that also allows the... That might be their mosque. I need to I haven't played for so long that I forgot to even give them a mosque. Which probably would allow rerolls or something like that, which, you know, could have potentially made it so they didn't have to spend a command point to reroll. Alright, they're going to do the one where they gain an additional attack if they were, basically if they charged or were charged. So that means he's going to have an extra attack, and he'll put that extra attack on this guy. So the 3 still heading there, no rerolls. But 2 hits. Harlequin's Kiss actually adds 1 to his strength, so it becomes strength 4. Now, knobs are toughness 4, so it's 4s to wound. Or you can roll those damn snake eyes and do nothing. And now the 2 attacks on this guy. 1 hit. Failed to wound. Fine, you're on the ground until we say otherwise. So he's attacked. I'm actually going to use shooting shot tokens to see who's punched. Now Orks. Orks had these people charge and him charge. You know what? We're going to do this guy. He's going to see if... Actually, no. He's going to punch now, because if he manages to kill this Harlequin, it can make this guy actually capture someone. So he's going to attack. It's just a regular old orc boy, but he's got Choppa. So he's going to have 3 attacks. 3's to hit. 2 hits. Strength 4 versus toughness 3. So 3's to damage. 1 damage. Or 1 wound. Invuln save made. I mean, the invuln save is always there, right? Yep, it's not like it's invuln saves only against shooting attacks. Okay. Before we do this guy, since it doesn't fully matter, we're gonna do this one just for the fun of it. They're gonna have the extra attack from the charge because so he's got 5 attacks. Alright, we'll put 3 on this one, 2 on this one. So we'll start with the 3 on that poor dude. 3's to hit. 1 hit. It's going to be at strength 4 versus toughness 4, so 4 to wound. Fails to wound. 2 attacks on this guy, 3 to hit. 2 hits. 4's to wound. 2 wounds at AP -1. An orc boy just has a 6-up save, so it actually ignores his armor. And it is D3 damage. 3 damage. So obviously it goes through all of his wounds. And we go to an injury roll of dead. Very, very, very dead. But it took a while to kind of kill. Now we go charged orcs again. Now we have this guy. He's the boss knob. He's got 3 attacks. He's got the Big Choppa. So 3's to hit. That is 3 hits. It's going to be done at strength 7 versus toughness 3. So 2's to wound. 2 wounds. 2 invuln saves for that model. Failed them both. It is damage 2. So, injury roll is dead. And consolidation has to go to the closest model. So, whoop. Yeah, so far, a whole bunch of deads, no captures. So, he has done his thing now. I mean, granted, he just walked into someone who could punch him, but he doesn't fully care. He thinks he'll live. Now, the last Harlequin that's charged was this one. With the Harlequin's Embrace. He's also the combat specialist. So that means, with the extra one from combat specialist and the extra one from their moss, he's got 6 attacks. Well, let's just do 2 each, right? Yeah, we'll do 2 each. Alright, we'll start with 2 on this guy. 3's to hit. 2 hits. What's... It is +1 to strength, so it's 4 to wound still. Both wound. AP -3, so it goes through, but it's damage 1. Do they want to spend a command point? No, they're not going to spend their command point. They'll leave the orc injured because you know what? If they can kill him later, then they might be able to capture him later. So the attacks on that orc. 2 attacks, 3s to hit, 1 hit, 4 to wound. Wounds, AP minus 3, so it goes through. Damage 1. Injury. 2 attacks on the orc knob. 2 hits. Only 1 wound. But it's only damage 1, so the orc is now at 1 wound left. So that orc survived. Now he's attacked. So really the only model that hasn't done it is non-charged model. And the last charged model is him, who I think is a combat specialist. He's got 4 attacks. Yep, 4 attacks, 3s to hit. 3 hits, strength 7, so 2s to wound. Again, just 2 wounds. 2 invuln saves. Failed 1. They'll spend their final command point to reroll this 1 invuln save. Saved it. There we go. Saved the right one, because now it goes to non-charged models, starting with Harlequin. So this one. I just realized the one that was killed was a Zealot. Oh, so the Zealot was killed. Oh well. This one's a veteran. 5 attacks because it was charged, so they gain an extra attack still. So 3 will go on the knob, 2 will go on the boy. Let's do the 2 on the boy. 3 to hit, 1 hit, strength 4, so 4 to wound. Fails to wound. 3 attacks on the knob, 3s to hit. Ooh, 1 hit, 4 to wound. Wounds at AP minus 1, and I think the knob has a better... Yes, now this knob has a 5-up save. Failed it. They spent a command point to reroll that because, you know what? They needed to not fail, but they failed it. Harlequin's Kiss is D3 damage, so we'll see if it takes out the knob. That is 2 damage? Yes, so that goes through all of his wounds. Let's go to an injury roll of very dead. Harlequin's Kiss was the right weapon for the orcs. To kill orcs. All the Harlequins have done their melee now. So it's just the orcs meleeing back now. So we'll start with this guy. He's got 2 attacks. Let's do his 2 attacks. 3s to hit. 1 hit. 3 to wound. It wounds. Invuln save. Failed it. Go to an injury roll. Flesh wound. Okay, and he is punched. And now we'll do this orc. He will pile in. He's got Choppa, so he's got 3 attacks. So 3 attacks, 3s to hit. 3 hits, 3s to wound. 2 wounds, 2 invuln saves. Oh, failed them both. Injury roll. Flesh wound. They're okay with that. So now he attacks. 3 attacks. Actually, before he attacks, this knob is going to do all of his punching on that guy. He only has 3 attacks. So 3 attacks, 3s to hit. 2 hits. Strength 5, so it's still just 3s to wound. But 2 wounds, 2 invuln saves for that player. Failed one of them. Yeah, they only have 1 wound, so injury roll. That one's out of action. And now... So he's attacked. And now they'll do this orc boy and see if they can capture him. Because if he can do that, there'll be a capture. So 3 attacks. He's got... Oh, shit. This guy had an injury on him, too. I don't remember what he rolled, but he needed 4s to hit. I'll have to recheck the footage and see if he was done wrong. This guy, 3 attacks, 4s to hit. All 3 hit. So in this case, it really doesn't matter. It's still 3s to wound. All 3 wound. 2 fails. Damage 1, so we still go an injury roll. Have they spent their reroll this phase? They've spent a reroll, but for what? Oh, they spent it for trying to save this guy's armor save, so... It just goes up to another flesh wound. Man, they almost have this Harlequin captured. Almost. But morale phase is going to actually be big on this. Okay, I think Harlequin started with 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. They have to do a break test. Well, everyone's leadership 8, so... 8. They're still there. Woo! Now, Orks. They started off with 9. And they have 2 injured and 2 dead, so that's 4. They haven't broken yet. These ones have flesh wounds on them. Okay. They got 2... Let's see here. What's an orc boy's leadership? 6, and he'll be subtracting 2. Which means he would roll a 6 and he would roll a 6. And I think that's the high... Like, if he rolls a 6, he still passes. That's what I'm saying. And hell, they're even next to an orc that's keeping order, so if they roll a 6, the keeping order still applies. So, orcs pass the morale tech. Harlequins haven't broken yet. We actually go into round 2. Orcs are at 2 command points. Harlequins are at 1 command point. They both go up by 1 because both leaders are already dead. Initiative. Orcs. I actually like that. These 2 will definitely stay in. This orc's actually declaring a charge on that Harlequin, who's just going to do the smart thing and overwatch with the Neuron disruptor, which is distance of 12, so, you know. Yep. It's 1 shot, right? Yep. Pew! Doesn't hit. Walk. 5, but you actually add 1 because he's that, so 6. Boop. He's in. He's denying this one the ability to help this guy. Which makes it... Since this one's got 2 wounds on it, he's actually going to go and try to declare charge on that one. Because he can join in and potentially help this guy out. So, 2... Oh my, that's a 10. He's in. There he goes. Gets his head right underneath its pistol. They're just resting the pistol on his head. Orcs might win this. Orcs have the chance to win. So all of them are staying in combat. Harlequins are also going to stay in combat. So we move on to shooting phase. Because people stayed in combat, that means we got pistols that can be used. So, Orks go first. This one's going to shoot his pistol into this guy first, because that's actually kind of important. 5 to hit, though. Doesn't hit. Harlequins. This one will shoot into this orc. He's so wounded it doesn't think it will do as well in melee as this one. That one's actually a Neuro disruptor. But it does have an injury on her. So 4 to hit. It hits. Neuro disruptor is strength 4, so 4 to wound. It wounds. It's AP minus 3, so clearly goes through. D3 damage. 3 damage. Dead. But still the whole... too close to this model to capture, so it's just dead. But hey, it's out in the open now. And it's fired. Might as well. Okay, I'm just knocking models over there. Doesn't matter. So that one can now indicate fired. None of these can fire because that was all charged this turn. But we could do a whole bunch of shooting from here. I think the knob has a... Yes, this guy has a pistol. So he's going to fire because he doesn't have an injury on him. So he's actually going to be 5s to hit. So he's shooting into this one. Doesn't hit. This one with the Neuro disruptor will shoot this guy. It's going to be 5 to hit because of subtract 2 from the own injury. Hits. Strength 4 versus toughness 4. Wounds, AP minus 3, so it goes through. D3 damage. 1 damage. Still enough to remove his final wound. Injury roll is... they'll leave it at that. Flesh wound. So he's fired his pistol, so it's just these two with pistols now. Alright. I was about to have these models shoot their pistols. I was thinking of waiting until the garbage truck left because it was trying to make some noise, and I know it's still about to pick up my garbage and it'll be very, very noisy and will be picked up by the mic. But I don't know when the guy's going to do that because the garbage truck decided to stop and take a phone call. So he's just standing out there, not picking up my trash with this noisy truck, and I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm getting impatient because I want to continue playing. So, warning, there might be the sounds of garbage truck in the background as I'm playing because I can't wait anymore. I've waited already 10 to 20 minutes or something like that just for him to pick up our neighborhood. So, I'm annoyed. Anyway, I'm just going to roll these two together because they're both injured, so they're both 6s to hit. They have fired. Yeah, he's fired his Neuro disruptor. I can't remember this one's... I don't think this one's fired its Shuriken pistol yet. So they'll fire their Shuriken pistol. 1 shot. 3 to hit. Doesn't hit. And I know he's already fired his slugga. So pistols have been fired. And there goes this garbage truck. Maybe he'll make it nice and loud right now. And he's now driven away. So everything's good. So I can just edit out a bunch of stuff. So just be super, super annoyed on the inside. To melee. So Orks have the initiative. And also we do charge models, which are these ones. So, you know what? We'll start with this guy. See if he can do something. He's got 2 attacks. 3s to hit. 1 hit. 3 to wound. Wounds. 4 up invuln. May the invuln save. And now the knob. Here's the combat specialist. So 4 attacks. 3s to hit. 3 hits. 2s to wound. 3 wounds. 3 4-up invulns. They'll spend a command point to reroll one of these because this is actually important. They want to survive this. They didn't. Damage 2. That's a point. They actually captured that one. Orks have successfully captured. You will go use consolidation over this way. It's not going to be close enough to prevent them to potentially capture him. He's going to try. Now we go into non-charged models, starting with Orks. And we'll start with this guy because he wants to try to kill him. He can't capture, but he can potentially kill. So 3 attacks, 3s to hit, 2 hits, 3s to wound, 2 wounds, 2 4-up invulns. Failed them both. Damage 1. That's killed. I think it says 2 inches. Yeah. This one's too close, so he just kills that one. But he can consolidate towards this one. Which was probably a terrible idea, because now they can have this one attack. With their 4 attacks. No, they were not charged, so they don't gain an extra one, but still 4 attacks. 4s to hit because of injury. 2 hits. 4s to wound. 1 wound at AP -1. Goes through. D3 damage. 3 damage. And captured. Now they both have captured one. Consolidation. Ooh, that's even worse. Well, now Orks can go. They're going to do the knob right now. Because the knob has got 3 attacks. 4s to hit because of injury. 1 hit. 3 to wound. Wounds. 4-up invuln. Failed it. Doesn't matter what the injury roll is because it becomes the 3rd injury. That one is a capture as well. He'll move his consolidation to get closer to this one. So now, break tests for both sides, clearly. Harlequins, pass. Orks, fail. Of course the Orks fail. Let's see here. Okay, this is about 3 inches. That would get the keep in order. So if he rolls a 6, he'll automatically pass. And if he rolled a 6... Wait. Okay, if he rolls 6, his leadership is 6. He rolled a 6, it would become a 7 modified, but because an unmodified roll of 6 makes him pass. So no matter what he rolls, he passes. So let's go him first. Pass. The same for these guys. Pass. Pass, because keep an order from him. Right? All knobs have it. All knobs have keep an order. So these have all passed. Let's roll this orc. Keep an order. Pass. Let's roll him. That's still a pass because that only becomes a 4. So, pass. Orcs have passed the morale checks. They might be broken, but they passed. Round 3. Woo, boys. Orks have the initiative. I wonder what they're going to do. They're going to charge first with this orc boy. Overwatch with the Shuriken, the Neuro disruptor, right. Doesn't hit. Charge. Can go like 9 inches of whoop. Look at that. Now charge. Boom. Charge. Whoo. Boom. Charge. Yeah, let's... No, this one charging in. Alright, everyone's in base contact. They might be able to capture this Harlequin. You'd think. Oh, right, command points. Orks are now at 3. Harlequins are at 1. Ooh, boys. Well, the Orks charge, so they get to go first. Let's do this guy, shall we? He's the combat specialist. He has 4 attacks. It's going to be 4s to hit because his team is broken. 3 hits, but still 2s to wound. 3 wounds. I wonder what they're going to be. Wow. That poor orc was just a 9. Well, we'll do this guy. He's got 2 attacks. He's 4s to hit because the team is broken. 2 hits, 3s to wound, no wounds. Watch them all punch and not succeed. Well, let's do this knob. He's got 3 attacks, right? Yep. 3 attacks. It's going to be 5s to hit because he has an injury and the team is broken. He gets a hit. 3 to wound. Gets 1 wound. 1 for a pinbone. Failed. They'll spend their final command point to reroll that and didn't succeed to save it. So now another injury roll. Captured. And there was much rejoicing amongst the orcs. That was an absolute slaughter. But in all reality, that's because I threw a bunch of orc boys in there. If I had done some of those other lists that I had, it was not going to be effective. Like if I had the one with the cyborg body and stuff, it's just like, oh, he's really great at ripping up Terminators and Space Marines, but it doesn't matter if it's got 4 up invuln. And then if I had one with like a rocket in there, it's like, what the hell is the point of the rocket? They weren't there to shoot. And I don't think terrain would have churned too much. Besides, they might have been able to have the Harlequins split up the orcs a little bit more. But the orcs probably would have just then focused on trying to be more of a pack and just charging, you know, like maybe even one Harlequin at a time, which then would have been worse for the Harlequins. So no matter what the strategy would have been, the orcs probably had quite an advantage with just numbers and then focusing on groups because they can capture that way. I mean, they split the Harlequins and then managed to do goo. Anyway, have a fabulous day, everybody.